Вообще как-то странно. Вроде не хотел по квесту идти. По основному. А в итоге к нему и пришел. Угу. Я прыгающий ватник. На мне 100 килограмм железа. Нет, не килограмм же. Фунтов. А мне посрать, я прыгаю. Ой, что со мной? Оп. Оп. Кто здесь заправляет всем этим делом? Ну и ладно. И что здесь происходит? По-моему, ничего хорошего.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
If that's what you call nothing to see, I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Блевать будем? Вау.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Вообще, наверное, делаю неправильно. Надо для определенных ситуаций красивым быть, для неопределенных защищенным.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
И все?
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now, and nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Че уставились? Расходимся. Все, кино не будет.
My respects to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course, ask away.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk who was always looking for a...
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day?
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh?
He was a loner, he didn't...
That's all. Thank you.
Any work going here?
Enough for a dozen men. He could take the place of that useless stable hand Vashek for a start.
What happened? Did he do something?
Just found out that he lost our pie.
Lost it where? In his stomach?
No, Pie was our fastest stallion.
Oh. Well, that's bad news.
He fell, banged his head, and the horse bolted. Can you fathom it?
Well, I can't take Vash...
That would be nice of you. If there's anything you need to know, ask that...
Right.
I'm looking for the local groom.
Well, you found him.
The lady Stephanie of Talmberg sent me. She said you have a roan ready for
Ага.
Well... Chamberlain Dietrich said someone would come. That miserable horse will let you saddle him and walk him around the court.
I'll handle it.
Ну,
If you
должен.
think so.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
I don't know how I can help.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day?
I don't think he was hurt.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time?
As far as I know.
That's all.
I hope I can be of help.
I've come in the name of Sir...
I don't know nothing about...
Do you know what Lubosh was...
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky.
Do you know anyone Lubosh...
Not with anyone from the village.
That's all.
Да, это жесть какая-то.
I'm honored that
Что за
a knight
лига
such as you
детективов-то?
takes an interest in me.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush...
Sir Hanush give...
Do you know what Lubosh was...
I don't think he was home at all.
Do you know anyone Lubos?
I really don't know. As far
Have you noticed anything?
I didn't see much of him lately.
That's all. Thank you.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
How's the head?
So even straight.
Well, it was pretty funny, but I didn't.
So what is it you want?
I promised the head groom that.
Well, good luck with that. I've been.
Can you describe Pie for him? You did hit your head hard.
Yes?
I asked you to describe Pie, not
Sorry, he's a dappled.
Quite the opposite. Where did you fall?
Just south.
4 paths.
Now you see my.
Fine, I'll go and look for him.
Thanks.
Well,
Pie's used to taking the bridle with, so I.
that's useful.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish.
I don't know nothing.
That's all. Thank you.
I'd like you to show me how to ride a horse better.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost. Now pay close attention.
Где все? Я никого не отпускал, алло. Отличный перк, я считаю. Падре? Что с вами? Мне с вами поговорить надо. Стой, 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 стой!
Good health to you.
blessings of our good Lord be with you. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like? Did you notice anything?
My child. All sorts of suspicious...
That's really not a lot of help.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that...
Vows more important than catching danger?
There are laws of God above...
Father, surely you can't be...
There are things that apply always.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be... If people believe the same...
Worse than the death of innocent Christians.
No one escapes.
Father, didn't I see you outside practice? I wouldn't have expected that.
With a stick. I practiced with a stick.
Father, Lubosh was my own... If I don't find out who...
I wouldn't. Suppose we talk it over.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm. Как мне это лопаться? Есть у меня лопата? Не возьму. Жуть какая. А где музычка? Да чтоб тебя, волки съели. Да, ешь. Да дохни ты уже. Фу. Так. Еще чуть-чуть. Какой-то сегодня непоследовательный. То в одно место скачу, то в другое. Ехал к знахарке, занялся охотой. Аллилуйя. Почему? Очень много почему в этой игре. Ну все, набухалась.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as...
Ask all you want, lad.
Ну и голос.
Who was this Lubosh who...
Those that live by the sword die by the sword.
Have you noticed anything?
Everything about him was suspicious.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof...
How would I know?
Do you know who Lubosh...
I don't know, since I don't go...
That's all. Thank you.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited some women.
Me? Witchcraft?
Don't you know that witches get burned alive?
There's no need for trouble. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much.
I'm supposed to believe an old witch has...
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell... You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a match.
What kind of ointment was...
One that will show you a world no one else can see. A place of wonder and terror. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and...
The ointment could make a person see such things.
Will you give me the ointment?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That are...
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, they said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead.
I understand how...
Judge not, lest ye be judged.
Their plea or the clink of their coin? And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep.
They burn them alive.
That they do.
It didn't bother you before, though. What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you... I don't...
So all this talk of...
The ointment...
I want to know something else. What did they want the ointment...
Each one of them lost a loved one.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out...
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me.
Thank you 1,000-fold.
Would you teach me something about medicinal herbs?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close.
А где твоя лаборатория? Херова. Блин. Так, вино у меня есть. Крапиву надо. Угу. Так. Чё, правда, что ли? Так просто? И все? Реально? Надо качать все это дело. Я заинтригован. Там-там-тарам-там. Блин, потерянные знания. Так. Я рецептов не знаю. Все, я понял. Сударыня.
God bless.
Понятно. Угу. Пора нам ужасы вернуться. И пожрать пора. Понял. Да, в жопу. Это какая-то наркомания.
I'm at your service, sir.
I've come in the name of...
I don't...
Have you noticed anything sus...
Come to think of it, he was in church. I was wondering what he...
That man Lube,
I didn't really...
that's all.
Да ёп! Опять обожрался. Так, ладно. Так, сапоги бы мне не помешали.
I've come in the name of Sahanish of Light.
I don't know how I...
Who was this Lubot?
You could see at first glance he was...
Have you noticed anything?
There wasn't sight or sound.
That's all. Thank you.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sahanish.
Sir Hanish.
That man Lubosh who was murdered.
He was a strange one.
That's all.
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush.
Of course. Ask.
That's all. Thank you.
Fancy throwing a few dice?
Ale for me.
Ух ты, собака.
Should I? Shouldn't I? No.
Вот ты жук.
Pull me an ale. We'll see. We'll see.
Давай.
This'll be the one.
Да ну нахер.
No luck tonight.
Фу. Чё опять за говно из тебя торчит?
I'll fetch it right away.
Читер!
What the hell's with these damn dice?
Хватит. Вот тварь.
That's all.
Я считаю, меня опять окуканили. Нечестно. Чё вы тут все встали?
Be a bit more careful.
Чего вы разошлись-то? Алло.
Hey.
Yeah, give me a minute.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here. We'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Townburg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhoff stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
I noticed there's a woman living with you at the presbytery.
What of it? Have you never met a cleric who lives with a woman before? Mother Church won't let me take her to wife. Too afraid it might lose its property to any heirs she bore me. But she cooks and cleans. And, well, as a man, I have my needs.
I'm not sure the parish priest at St. James would agree with you.
I heard he was a bit odd.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. The tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil
Ничего не
himself were to
изменилось.
pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł dziesięć smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majstak, do wczera żylne staje brak. Už sej mojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich učit. Na jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si huby jako poslední den. Buďme se mámy, ano rada stávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu jsou nejdem, tak nalej mi hned a točí se vzdět.
Enough of this! Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
О боже.
You. Come on then, Bailiff.
Помог. Да, что-то долгий загрузочный экран. Ой. А музыка все тревожная. Не нравится мне это. Так, вот и жена пришла. Прекращаю трансляцию. Всем пока. Да ты постучалась, а у меня в этот момент игра зависла. Все зависло. Я вот думаю, что делать. И с чем это связано?